Okay, so part 2 of this fantastic story time, fantastic Mr. Fox story time we're about to have here. So, my ex also reminds me of the fox because he's deceitful and attractive looking, if you will, albeit in a twink way, but he's also like actually pretty masculine, like the most masculine, feminine, I don't even know. By 60-40, I think is what he said, but 60% straight. Also got really shallow with the dating apps and just scrolling through. Just trying to. What did he call it one time too? Oh my god, it was so gross to me. Simping out on girls at the skate park. And mind you, most of them are like much younger. Like some like very illegally young. And I think he really was talking to them. Wow, it's just like he went so low on so many levels. My friend that has the 11 birthday, Scorpio, she had this children's book for her son. And I was reading it to her son and just getting really emotional looking at the book because it's all about these cute little foxes, and every picture of the fox just crazily reminded me of my ex. Like the eyes and the face, like reminded me so much of his eyes and the expressions of his eyes, and in like each picture, like so much, it was tripping me out. And I even told her, I was like, look, I must really be losing it. Each fucking picture of him, these eyes look like him. It's like the same eye facial expressions. It's like this kind of sneaky, sad face. But like really attractive looking, but in like this dark, sad, scary kind of way. I like still remember the pictures and everything. And I actually even have pictures of his eyes. I'm just looking sad. Because I think his eyes are beautiful, but they're also really sad. And his birthday was yesterday. And I just had to be dumb and message him even though I haven't talked to him in a while, because I was just being reminded of him a lot. Which is really nothing new, but so I wrote this whole thing. It wasn't that long, but you know, it was like a nice little paragraph of a poem thing. So dorky. Just being like, I hope you're okay. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, and I just really annoy you, and you don't even think about me anymore, so I should just stop bothering you, and you probably have someone that loves you dearly, so I should just leave you alone. But in case you care at all, I just want you to know how much you mean to me, and that I just love you. And even if we aren't meant to be or gonna work it out at all, even though I still hope that could happen, even though I don't know if I could handle it, like, I realize it doesn't matter, I just love you no matter what anyway. And I'm happy you were born, and I'm grateful I got to be with you even for a little. And then I sent him a picture of him and his old horse, this actually really red horse that passed away right around when I first met him, and we went to see the horse and say final goodbyes before they had to put it down. And it was kind of sad that they had to put it down too, because it was like they just couldn't afford the medicine for it when it was sick or something, or like this injury or like hip problem, and so they just had to put it down. Even though it's like, it could have survived, they just don't have the money. So I sent him a picture of him and his horse that had passed away, which I think is actually one of the pictures I took is still like his cover photo for Instagram or something. I could be wrong. I just sent that because I knew that would be meaningful to him. But I was really trying to tell myself that this isn't, because I was like, I shouldn't send this because he's not going to care. It's not going to make him love you back. But then I was like, this shouldn't be about forcing him to love me. This should be about just telling him that I care about him. But it's really hard to like let go of that element. It is, because this is part of me that's like, no, but I want him to love me back. I'm just gonna look like such a freaking weirdo psycho if it's not reciprocated or mutual, you know. But then I was just like, you need to do this regardless of the outcome. And I just really kept telling myself that. I was like, you keep getting reminders, so you got to. The universe is telling you to. So I did, but... And then he did actually message me back and was like, thank you. No, you're not delusional. We did have a good time together. I love you with all my heart. You're like one of the few people that actually told me happy birthday, by the way. And you're actually one of the best people I've ever encountered. And I hope, I'm happy for you too. I hope you're doing well in Connecticut. And I was just like, I saw the messages coming and I was just like so happy he messaged me back and like was nice, and I was just like, oh. And I was trying so hard to like remain calm, and my cousin's like right there on his stupid dating apps, and I don't even tell him a lot of what I'm going through because he's going through so much of his own shit. He just doesn't even have the care to know what I'm really going through. He doesn't have the space for it, and I get it. So he doesn't even really see what I'm going through, and that's okay. He's got his own shit. So I'm just sitting there like, and I'm like, yep, remain calm. And he's like, yeah, remain calm. He thinks that I'm talking about him. I'm not. I'm talking about me. He doesn't even know. So then I'm like, I'm gonna go on a walk. I bring the dog, and I go walk to this area where there's like not people. And I'm all happy because he messaged me, but I don't even bring the phone because I know I'm going to like obsessively be looking at it. It's like I'm just going to leave it there so I don't immediately respond and look weird. See if he says anything else. But I'll leave it behind and go on this walk. And I was just all happy because he messaged me and stuff. And I was just singing, which I don't do. I have not done at all. And I was just singing. I was so happy that I was singing love songs, and it reminded me of in the Little Mermaid when they're like, "Can't you tell, Daddy, she's in love?" Because she was just swimming around singing la la la, and that's how I was. And I was just like, oh, I can't believe how ridiculous and foolish we're acting right now. Like, you know how, and in my head I was like, you know how dumb this is. This has always been toxic. You should not be this happy that he's messaging you back. Like, and I was annoyed too because I was like, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you were evil. I was just really hurting, and it still hurts, but I love you still because he's really hurt me. And I was kind of annoyed that nowhere in there was like, you know, I'm still sorry I hurt you so much. But then I was like, oh, so were you really looking for an apology from him on his birthday? Like, that's pretty selfish. But he really has hurt me a lot and not been very good at apologizing for it. It's almost like always sort of just brushes it under the rug. Even when he apologizes, he's just like, he's like pushing it under the rug as he's saying he's sorry. He's like, sorry, let's just forget that ever happened, okay? All right? Don't talk about it. I don't want people to judge me. Messed up stuff. But I was just so happy. Because it's weird too when someone hurts you and they're just always hurting you, and then you're just so happy that they weren't being evil for once. And you just, like, you feel like you win when they're not evil. They're like, yeah, I got them. They were a nice, decent human being for once. They admitted to caring about me. I did it. I won. I got them to admit that they care at all. I got an ounce of an emotion out of him, I think. But no. And then I was just like, and then I started doing all the other dumb stuff that I knew I was gonna do, that I knew was bad, but couldn't help it. I was just like, oh, maybe we will work out. And I'm listening to songs like this one Hosier song, The Damage Gets Done with Brandy Carlisle, which is like a really cool song, but I think that was part of it. Like, I didn't think that we would have another chance. But what do you know? And like, I got in my head, like, yeah, like, who'd have thunk it? We're gonna work out. Maybe it just needs time and you just gotta like take it slow, but maybe it's gonna work out and you'll get that happy ending after all with them. But I just knew it was bad. But I couldn't help it, and I was just all lovey-dovey happy about it. And then, of course, as it always does, reality starts to sink in really quickly, really painfully. Because I got back and checked my phone. No response. And after he responded, right before I went on the walk, I had to be stupid. And I already had them waiting. I had a bunch of pictures that I had screenshotted from my cloud of all these pictures from when we were together. I mean, well, I tried to make a lot of them just like, he has this thing too, he's like, I don't like people, I just like animals. I like my dog and my horse. My dog's and my horse, and that's it. And this little lizard, but not people. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna send pictures of his dog and like the goats and the little lizard and stuff, so like he'll care about it because he cares more about animals. But then I had to throw in a couple of me that were like really cute and pretty, because like I wanted him to remember that I was like really pretty and cute. And, you know, some of us together. Things that I just thought were very sentimental. And so I sent him like maybe 15 pictures or so. And yeah, when I came back, he didn't respond. He hadn't even looked at them, actually. And then today, he's looked at them and he still hasn't said anything, and he's probably not going to say anything, and it's probably for the better, because that's the other thing is, once I start talking to him, it's a vicious cycle of, oh, he hasn't responded. Oh, he's seen it, but he still hasn't responded. Oh, he's active, because I don't have his number anymore. This has been an ongoing thing, because sometimes he didn't even have his phone on. So it's just Facebook Messenger, where you can see that they're active, you can see that they read it, but they're just ignoring you. And it's the worst. Facebook Messenger is so brutal in that regard. And that was our cycle a lot, and it's just like, and I've worked so hard to not be in that cycle anymore, and as soon as I sent that birthday thing, it's just like, I went right back on that wagon of, he hasn't messaged me back, but he's online. He's seen it, and he's just ignoring you. And yeah, I feel really shitty. And then all the wonderings start to happen. Like, oh, he's with another girl again, because he's always with another girl. You're always alone, and he's always with another girl, and they're probably way prettier than you, because they always are. And then there's the other what if, like, oh, he's probably talking to your ex-best friend again. They're probably hooking up again. Maybe they're friends with benefits again, or maybe they're just straight up dating now. Maybe she's literally gonna be pregnant with him and have his baby like you've been fearing for a while now. Because that's the other big part of the story. The girl I told you whose birthday is 11/11, Scorpio girl, we were like best friends. She was one of the main reasons how I even like got to that town in California, was because she kind of took me in, sort of. And yeah, so I dated my ex. I'm not gonna use his name, I feel like I've already said his name, but Sagittarius guy. And yeah, so me and the Sagittarius guy, we dated for like a year, but we were always very toxic and kind of on and off. But we were cute, but we were not. We had good times, but there was a lot of bad times, and a lot of unofficial dating. Me trying to break up with him and that not working, and oh my god, just so much. And that went on for like a year, and then it kind of, even after we broke up, it just kind of kept going. And let's see if I can just really timeline it for you. Let's see. And the thing is, the Scorpio girl and him, they've been friends since like childhood in this small town. They kind of grew up together. And the sucky thing is, even his mom, I always felt like liked her more than me. Like, she just loved him. Wanted her to like be her daughter. Thought of her as like her daughter too. And she was just always like, I felt like more loved than me, and it made me feel really insecure. And it was just kind of like, she was just always cooler than me. And more revered, had like more authority, was more respected. And maybe part of that too is because she's like very, she's Scorpio, seductive and sexual looking, and then she's also has this like prosthetic leg, which makes her like really unique, and like she's been through a lot, and then it just made me feel like just so much all the more worse, like just really pathetic and lame. And yeah, and they had been friends since a while, but she dated his best friend, who he also has a bit of like a bi-gay thing with. But now they don't talk. It's such a mess. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do a timeline here, but it's really hard because it's so messy. It's like Lionel messy. So me and him were together, and throughout the whole relationship, we would always hang out. Oh, like that would happen a lot, like just the three of us. Me, him, and her, who was like my best friend. And me and her would hang out all the time. We were like ride or die best friends. We would like hang out all the time. I got to know her family crazy well because they all kind of took me in too, and like it all just got so messy. But like her stepdad hit on me. It was a mess. And I was with her stepbrother for like a hot second too, which was weird because that was like the stepdad's actual dad. So but like, it would just be the three of us a lot. And so like, if you can't tell where this is going already, like if it wasn't obvious, like I'm in like the thick of healing from him, and And I'm finally starting to feel like I'm getting there, like I'm moving on from him. And then she tells me that they've been having a friends with benefits. And I was just totally decimated. And I was literally staying with her family on that property. She was staying there too. We were like living on the same property, and I was in her old room with all her old clothes that she had given me. So like everything I had was like from her. It was like she owned me. And I felt like I wasn't even allowed to be upset at her because she like owned me. Like if I was upset with her, they were gonna be like, well, get off the property then. And I'd have nowhere to go. And it's like, oh, you owe everything you have to us. You would be nowhere without us. That sucked because I was trying so hard to help. Like anytime she needed money for her dog or needed a babysitter or something, I was trying to help out and be there. You know, I was there when she had the baby, all this stuff. When she had her baby, I was there with my ex. And they're like, careful, you guys have a baby next. And I was just like, and I remember he talked me into leaving right before she had the baby at the hospital. He was like, you don't want to be one of those people that just needs to be there. Like, let the family do it. Let's go. He just wanted me to go back with him. And I'm pretty sure that song, I don't know whether I was the boxer or the bag, by what's his name, Pearl Jam. His mom really likes Pearl Jam, so that was like a song we both really liked, and it came on the radio or something, and we both just started singing it. And he does not sing, but he did that time. There are very rare occasions where we both sang to the radio together, and it was really cool. And that was one of those times when we sang that song, which is kind of very funny to me too, because that was very us. Like, who was the boxer and who was the bag in that relationship? I don't know. We were kind of both just so worn out by each other. It's like, but yeah, so that really hurt, and I'm still healing from that. And every time I think I'm like healed from that too, like that's part of why I came here and left California, because I was like, I need to get away from all of this. This all has been so painful, and it's such a small town. Like the reminders was just there all the time. I would see them and be like, all the time. So I just had to get out of there. I was like, I just need to step away from all this. And I've had to do that a couple of times too. I just had to leave. This has been one of those times again. Even though it sucked too, because a part of me didn't want to leave, because I was like, I'm tired of running away from this, and I don't want to like feel like I'm kicked out of this beautiful town because of this. Like, how come you guys get to have this place and not me? Because you grew up here, this is your town. I just felt like kicked out of it. When I was really upset in the thick of it, I heard their voices being like, just go, get out, leave. Yeah, nobody wants you here anyway, just go. And oh my God, it was so hurtful hearing those voices in my head. And that's actually when, and I told her stepbrother this, that's when I was suddenly motivated to tell her that I forgave her, because I realized that hearing these evil voices in my head of like, fuck you, then leave. Like, what if she was thinking that? What if she was hearing these evil voices of me being like, fuck you, I hate you, get away from me? And I just didn't think that anybody deserved such hateful voices in their head. Nobody deserved that. It was so evil, and it just makes you want to kill yourself. Like, and I didn't want to cause any pain like that. I didn't want anybody to feel so ashamed like that. So I told her I forgave her, even though a lot of me didn't. You know, it's like, it's weird. It's like you want to have forgiveness, but even saying it, you just know there's a part of you that's lying. Like, you know that's not all the way true. And I remember her saying that too, like, you don't really have to forgive me. Like, she gets it. Like, some things you can say sorry, but you know, it doesn't really change the pain. It was like kind of like one of those moments, just really sucky. And it was funny too, because she was like watching Euphoria, trying to get me to watch Euphoria, and then I'm watching Euphoria, and then the toxic guy was reminding me of my ex, and it's like the whole time I didn't know we were totally just Maddie and fucking Cassieing it. And then it definitely brings up a lot of insecurity too. Like, who's hotter, who's cooler? I don't know. There's a lot of issues I have with that show too, but I don't want to get started on that right now. And yeah, so I just started fearing all over again. And that's what sucks, because even though I know that they stopped, you know, and then they were both like, we're not a thing anymore. But in my head, I've always been like, even if you're not, there's always a chance that that's still going to be a thing now. Like, it'll never be out of my head now that you guys aren't talking again and seeing each other again, going to have a baby and stuff. Because the sucky thing is, I know they both, like, definitely are really, like, attracted to each other. And it sucks. It's like, oh, they always have been. And they have every right to, I guess. Like, no one has the right to be like, you're not allowed to be attracted to them. And they've known each other since they were kids. They've been through a lot together. His mom likes her more anyway. It's, like, hurtful. Like, I couldn't even get his mom's approval. She always liked her more. And then, like, it was like I couldn't get either of their approval. Like, when we were all friends, and it would just be me and him and her hanging out all the time. And it was like, I could never get either of them to really respect me as much as they respected each other. Like, they had more regard for each other. It was like they cared more about looking cool to each other than me. Like, I was just like this dorky weirdo in the mix of them. But like, it was like him that you didn't want to make mad, or her that you didn't want to make mad, or her you didn't want to say no to, or them you felt like you had to cater to. I was just the dumb servant catering to both of them all the time, and I could never win. It was never enough, and they always mattered more to each other. That's how it felt a lot. And it just sucks too, and I constantly wonder about this too, like, how long was this going on? And I feel like I don't think it actually got physically sexual until like after we broke up or something. But it's like, in a way, it's like it was always going on. And it just sucks because it just takes a giant dump on my whole relationship with him. As if all of it wasn't already so corrupt from the beginning. It's just like, it just makes me feel like all of it was such a sham the whole time. It's just like, the whole time I was with you, you were more attracted to her. You were thinking about her. And you did tell me from the beginning that, you know, there were times where he liked her and then felt bad about it because she was his, like, best friend's very important ex. So they, like, weren't supposed to like each other. And then he told me, like, yeah, he, like, was checking her out and stuff. And like, one time they were, like, touching each other and stuff. And it was just, like, they've always had, like, this very strong sexual connection and then just been in denial about it. And he told me that from the beginning, but it was just kind of like this one story. And then that was that. But, yeah, I was always insecure about it. Like, oh, so, like, you're attracted to her. And, like, they've always had, like, it was like I was just like this dumb person in the middle. like the whole time is how it feels. A super dumb person in the middle. And I was trying so hard to be there for both of them. And I feel like I was there for them more than they were for each other. Like, I've been there for her more than he ever would be. I've been there for him more than she ever would be. You know, I really tried to be so there for them and give them money and like time and everything I could. And the whole time, they like were just more attracted to each other. And I was just their little human serviette dorky idiot. Like, just... And they just meant so much to me too. Like, it was so hard. I was thinking about, and this happens all the time, like, they were so magically important to me. I felt like more intimate with them than anybody else in my life. Like, closer to them than anybody else. Like, I've never known how to be that close with anybody the way I was with them. So it just hurt so much. And it was just like, I believed in them. They were like this magic that I believed in. It like made me believe in myself and things more than I ever could. So it's like when that friendship and that relationship all died and became corrupt and turned out to be like corrupt the whole time, it was just like everything I believed in turned out to be a lie, like a joke. Like I was just wrong about everything. Everything is not magic. Santa Claus is not real. Life's a joke. It's a big twisted game and you're an idiot and you've been duped. You've been supremely duped. And your parents were faking these footprints to make you believe in Santa so that you would just listen to them. It's just like, why? Why would we do this? Why would we work so hard in deceiving? It's so painful to feel so tricked and duped. And like, so many beautiful moments just totally tainted. So many memories. So much of my life, years of my life, just like down the drain. Totally polluted. Like polluted water that you're drinking constantly, getting sick. And sick in the brain, in the heart. It's sick. And I don't trust anybody anymore. And I don't trust my own feelings anymore because I feel strongly about people that have just hurt me immensely. And when it all happened, it was just so hard. And then she was like so worried about me that I think she messaged my parents to see if I was okay, and then my parents messaged her to see if I was okay. Like, they were all worried I was gonna kill myself, which sucked too, because then it was just like, everybody was just pitying you, like you're just a big baby. I'm like, oh no, Elsa can't handle it. What's she gonna do? Like, they all just felt sorry for me. That's some really shitty stuff to feel. And I've felt that way before too, in really bad ways, and it sucks. Nobody wants that. What else? And so yeah, I'm just having this big fear that that's what's happening again. And I shouldn't care anymore, because it's whatever, what can I do? And they are literally on the other side of the country. It shouldn't matter anymore, but it still does. There was one time we were at his place and we all drank too much, and Amelia, oh, I said her name, fuck, whatever. She literally threw up, and I didn't even want anybody to know. I didn't want him to know that she got sick because he was a really weird germaphobe. And I didn't want him to get mad at her or anything. So I just cleaned it all up while they were literally sleeping in the same bed together, and I was on the couch in the same room. And I thought it was weird, but I didn't think anything of it. I was like, well, she's sleeping there because she has her kid, her baby, was literally in the bed too with them. So I was like, well, she has to have the bed so that she can be with her baby. So it was just him and her and the baby and me on the couch in the same room. And I didn't think anything of it because of the baby, but in my head too, I was like, this is pretty fucked up. And I was just quietly picking up her throat. Like, it couldn't be more symbolic of how fucking sad and pathetic I was. Just catering and allowing myself to be like tossed to the side. And that's been a big thing, is just totally like allowing myself to be like kicked to the curb. Like, I just accept it. Like, that's what I deserve. Like, I'm not that cool anyway. I don't deserve it. I should be the one that's hiding in the corner trying not to take up space and keep everything peaceful and make sure everybody else is happy. And it really does set you up for betrayal, I think, because people get used to that and they think that you'll always take their crap. Because you will. And you'll always love them so they can treat you like total shit. And you'll still do whatever you can for them. And then the most I ever do to upset them is finally be like, okay, I can't do it anymore. And then I disappear. I go ghost. That's what I did. I didn't talk to her anymore. And then she was really upset because then she didn't have any friends anymore. She lost like her one friend, who was me. And then she had nobody. No one was there for her because I wasn't there for her anymore, because I was so hurt I couldn't talk to her anymore. And it sucks because I don't even know if she was really upset that she hurt me or if she was just upset that she lost her like server. She lost her loyal servant. I don't know. I don't think she's that evil, honestly. I don't think anybody's that evil. I think we all have some really evil tendencies, especially when we're in survival mode and really struggling. But at our root, it's not like that. And at our root, it really hurts to feel that way. It hurts to hurt people. It hurts to hurt people more than it does to be the victim of it in a lot of ways, I think, yeah. Because I've been on the other end too, you know. I don't know what hurts more. It's debatable. But I do think, and I thought this through all my healing, like, it almost by the laws of physics is gonna match wherever it's at. Like a spectrum. Like, wherever it goes, that's the equal other way it's gonna go. Like, the gravity at which you hurt someone, it's gonna affect them at that same gravity level, because that's the gravity of it. But people are gonna handle that however they can to cope, which for a lot of people means completely dismissing accountability altogether, because it's so yucky that you just don't even want to look at it. So a lot of times it just feels like they act like they don't give a fuck, they don't care at all, they take no accountability really. Maybe a little, but it's fake, because they really just can't even, they're not even, like, it's literally too hard to even hold the guilt or the shame behind it. But it really was just also, it's really also just really messy, hard feelings. Like, well, who cares more about who? It's kind of like a Schindler's List kind of thing. Like, oh, which child do you care about more? If you were a parent and you had 2 kids and you had to pick one to live and one to die, that's almost like the morals we're talking about. In their own twisted way. And yeah, so it's like I'm trying to like start a new chapter in my life and just move on from all of it. And it's really hard though, because I'm still really carrying a lot of it, so much of it, and I don't know how not to, because I can't just sweep it all under the rug. It's still under the rug. It's like even when I try and just run away from it as best I can, I'm just like exhausted running away from all this shit. And that's how like life has felt. It's just like running and running and running. One time when my ex really hurt me, he was like, I'm sorry, I just feel like I've been running my whole life. And it's like, you know, who doesn't? So yeah, there's that. And then there's this other guy who I've been talking to then. Now he's just seeing this other person who I knew he was going to when I left anyway, and I'm supposed to just feel whatever, but then he loves me but doesn't, and I just don't feel the same about him, and it sucks. It's just like so many hard feelings. So, like, love is such an evil, fucked up thing. And sex, it's all just such fucked up shit. These topics are just full of so much questionable, and it's like, should my parents even be together anymore? Don't they hate each other? It's just like so much misery. So much like everything I am thinking about lately in my life, yeah, is like this Fox, like fucked up stuff. It's all so fucked up. And I can't think straight, and I'm in pain, and I don't trust anybody. I don't even, it's like I want to find someone new, and I want to find new friends. I want to start this new chapter, but at the same time, I don't believe in anything anymore. Everything is so, like, and it's like I came here thinking I was gonna live with my best friends who are twins, and I thought we were gonna have each other's back. And then I came here and it was just like they were just kind of trying to use me to help pay rent, and then they decided they didn't have room for me, but they still kind of wanted to like use me, but also weren't really gonna have my, like, I really thought we were gonna live together, and then they were like, actually maybe you can stay here for a little bit, but there's also like no space for you, and you can be here till like you can get back on your feet. Like, oh, and what time frame is that? And also I'm not really supposed to be there because your landlord won't like it and there's really no room for me. It was like, and they also did it all seemingly while acting like they weren't doing anything to me. Like, I should have known this all along because we didn't have a real plan. But I was like, but I thought we were gonna do this together, and we're not really doing this together, and you're making me feel like you don't even really want me around, and you're mean to me, and you make fun of everything I do, and you make me feel like you don't even want me around. Like, just like I felt so shitty, and I was just like, wow, here we go again, feeling like shit, trying to cater to people that are just using me and not there for me, and gonna kick me to the curb at any given moment, right in front of my face, and act like I'm the one tripping. And I'm being disloyal, and I'm actually stabbing them in the back by not being their servant. And this is all, like, I should have known this all along. Really sucky. And it's like, they wouldn't even be here if it weren't for me. They wouldn't be in this place. So backstabby in such sneaky ways where you just like don't even, and then you try and address it and they won't even address it. They just like change the topic and just disassociate, and just, it's so maddening. And so I just had to be like, okay, so we're not even gonna really address this. And then my cousin, who the one twin is divorcing with, you know, he feels that way too, because he's like, yeah, welcome to my world right now. How do you think the divorce went? And where was was I going with that? And he's just all like, yeah, like, I can't believe it's like, it's just even more telling that you go, okay, all right, I guess I'll stay with my cousin, and like there's no message from them about anything. Like, sorry, things didn't work out, like nothing, no message at all. And then the one message they do send me is the day we're celebrating Thanksgiving with my family, not theirs, because it's divorce Thanksgiving. And on the holiday, they literally do a group message to me and my cousin saying, oh, don't walk our dog by the water because there's a dog disease going around, and also don't let the dog socialize with any other dogs, please. And my cousin too is just like, wow, that's really all they have to say. Which is funny too, because it's just like a controlling message of like them trying to like boss you around and tell you what to do. It's just like, wow, you got some nerve. And my Scorpio friend too, like, even through it was like, if you want to hang out, let me know, I'll meet you anywhere. Even though, like, I literally live down the road, like, don't expect me to give you any rides, even though I know you just had your car blow up. But, like, I'm not gonna pick you up or anything, but I'll meet you somewhere if you want, was, like, one of the things she told me. I was just like, okay. First of all, I don't want your help or your ride. I wasn't gonna try and stoop that low to ask for your help, but you already told me that you weren't going to before I even asked. Real cool. And just like, the nerve people have is like, the audacity is just so, and it's kind of like sad too. It's like once someone goes low, they kind of don't go back up. They kind of just keep going lower, because once they've gone that low, they feel like they can't redeem themselves. They can't come back from that. So all they can do is just keep going lower, you know? So they don't ever try and go up. They just keep going more down. And they feel like it's like almost giving them more permission to go lower. They're like, well, I'm already this low, I'm just gonna keep going down. Like, this is my level now. Like, I've chosen to be fucked up, and my only way to justify it is by accepting that that's my role. Like, I'm better than you, I have the right to be this fucked up, and I'm gonna double down on it, you know? So they just keep going lower. And your only way to fight it is to outshallow them. Like, prove that you have more money and status, and change the power dynamic. Become more popular, have more money, have more attractive people in your life, and power. And then they'll apologize. Then they'll come crawling back to you like, oh, my bad, I love you, I'm sorry. And until you can reach a status of better than them in that shallow definition way that they're choosing of ego, then you're getting nothing from them except more shit. Yeah. And so that's where I'm at with pretty much everybody. And it sucks. Yeah, it just feels like everybody's gonna stab you in the back because they have to survive. Everybody's in survival mode. Nothing is off the table. And I can't even act like I'm not affected by it, and that I'm not gonna become the thing too. Like, what is it? What's that black evil thing in Spider-Man? That's like the gunk, like dark Spider-Man, and it's like he's taken over by gunk. A lot of Spider-Man is like that. Like the Goblin King was kind of like that too. The Goblin guys, like they are suddenly overruled by the dark. Like the dark makes you dark, and then you're taken over by the dark. Yeah, like you are taken over by the monster. It's kind of like every superhero thing, and it's really true, and it's really sad, and you kind of have to feel bad for the villains, because it is this disease in the brain that takes over, and then you just can't help but become this monster. And so it's like, I can't even act like nobody's immune to it. I'm not immune to it. I feel myself becoming this heartless, ice cold, ice queen, ice king, Marceline vampire queen, just like cold, heartless, numb, disassociated person because of all of it. And I'm doing whatever I can to survive. And I'm trying not to use anybody or stab anybody in the back to get anywhere in life. I'm really trying to have morals. Like, that's all I have left, is trying to, like, have some kind of conscious, like, something. Sometimes I feel like that's all I have, is, like, at least I didn't suck a dick to get where I'm at. Which is also, like, debatable. I ask anybody, have you really not sucked any dick to get anywhere in life? Maybe not even, like, literally, but figuratively, but yeah. It's like, I'm trying to, like, have morals. That's all I have left, but at the same time, I'm also, like, I have to do whatever it takes. And it sucks. I remember being, like, at this point when I was in Hollywood, like, so bad, where I was just like, this is bad. I don't know who I am when I look in the mirror anymore. Like, I'm sickened. And that's when I found her, and luckily got the fuck out of Hollywood. She went right back and just embraced Hollywood with open arms, if you will. You know, really got to know the beast. Beauty of being the prisoner, and Stockholm Syndrome being the name of the game in that story. The rose is wilting. And the magic will run out. Hold on again. Okay, I'm almost done because it's been an hour. And it really is definitely not hard to ramble for an hour or two. It really isn't. I've always noticed that when I've, like, phone call conversations with people too, it becomes an hour so quickly, but it's also part of, like, the drug thing with coffee or drinking. Like, I just can't stop. But it takes a while to even figure out what you're processing. Like, there's so much bottled up all the time. And then when you look at something, it's like you can go back a lot of ways and look at all the different factors affecting it, every different angle of the environment of it, and the history behind everything around you. It's a lot. And yeah, that's why I think it is kind of healthy to distract ourselves. But it's weird because at some point you gotta look at it all, and it can be really, really overwhelming. It's just like, what am I even saying anymore? What am I even thinking anymore? What the fuck am I doing? What do I even care about? Who the fuck am I? What matters in my life anymore? What do I do? Can I just die already? I give up. Like, I was thinking about it again today, about the people I know that have passed away. I always have this bad habit of being like, they are so lucky. They got to leave this earth Monopoly game and move on to probably some nice spiritual shit or something. Or maybe to come back and be another human. But yeah, it just sucks when you feel like the world and life can really feel like such a prison, such a hell on this earth. It's so hard, and just want to get out. Just want to give up. Just want to be done. I'm so over it. So tired of wondering how I'm gonna make money, how I'm gonna survive the making money, how I'm gonna survive, how I'm gonna... And I wish I could make music and stuff, but I'm so plagued by everything. And I don't know how to play guitar. I don't know how to just write a play or just act in something. Like I have nothing to go off of. You know, I don't feel like I have the time to just like learn guitar or anything right now. I'm like, I gotta find a job. I need to make money. I'm all out of weed. I'm like, fuck, I'm out of medication right now. Like, this isn't recreational for me anymore. It hasn't been for a while. This is like my medication, and now it's out. And do I have enough money to get some? Is also where I'm at. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. It really is. And it has been for a minute. And I feel like everybody I know is also in this place though, like nitty gritty, woof, woof. There's not really a conclusion here right now. There's just, this is what's up. This is what's going down in the brain, and it's woof. It's probably really cold now, and it's like I want to go on a walk now, and I'm dumb because I should have done it before, and now it's like probably gonna be really cold. Winter is such a bitch sometimes. It kind of just is, but so yeah, I guess I'm gonna try and pray to God for some more healing vibes and calmness, because I just really need to calm down. I was freaking out so much and had too much coffee, and I wrote down, oh no, did I already just write over it? Oh, I did. Let me see if I can read it. And things to be grateful for. Dog, kitty. There's a dog and a kitty that are really cute and they help me. Dog, kitty. Roof over my head. Food to eat. Bud. I did have bud. I just ran out of it to smoke. But I might have a little bit of money to get more. Or should I ask my cousin? Kind of really want to go to my aunt's house with my other cousin just to hang out with them, maybe if I'm lucky. What does this word say? I like drew over the things I was grateful for. Clothes. Everything I'm wearing is from somebody. Sobriety. Yeah, I'm grateful that I've been able to at least not be drinking and smoking cigarettes right now. That is a pretty big deal. Videos. I'm grateful that I've been actually able to make some of these videos, even though I don't know what they're for. It's really pointless, but I've been saying I was going to do it anyway, and somehow finally have been, and that's cool. And the videos I've been finding on YouTube from the people I really like that have inspired me, they've been really helpful. Shout out Word Juju. Health, I've been healthy. I felt like I was getting sick, and I just pushed through it, and then I was fine. I was really only like kind of sick for a day or two. I really pushed through it. I think not drinking has really helped. Safety, like maybe I'm not getting this job right now, but I don't think my cousin is just gonna straight up kick me to the curb. It's not like I'm really gonna get kicked out by a landlord right now. Like, I am okay. I think. That's the thing, like, I never know. I keep proving myself and juggling all the human dynamics here and acting cool. Let them vent to me, you know. All that. A lot of juggling. Clothes. What is this word? Cat. I know one of them was family, like my cousins and them. And they're still like friends I can call and stuff, you know, even though it's all been weird. What is that other word? I just can't I don't know what that other word is. What else am I grateful for? I mean, shit, yeah, like I was telling with my friend, like, because where I was before was an outhouse, an outdoor shower, so it's nice to actually have, like, an indoor bathroom with a normal shower, because, you know, that shit was hard in winter. No joke. So, feeling pretty, like, living the life of luxury with that. I mean, the guy I was with is literally homeless right now. Got a dishwasher. Shit's pretty alright. It's weird how you can feel like things are so bad, but things are also pretty alright at the same time. It's really weird. They have like this little tree and the snowflakes on the window and the Christmas tree and the lights and the decorations. It's like when you're in the darkness, every little thing matters. Just like when you're in the darkness, like even that little light is a big deal. The tiniest ones. Tiniest little light can be a big deal. True red, that's what it says on this pencil. Interesting. So, yeah, part 2 is an hour, part 1 was an hour. I've been trying to keep these to at least an hour, which is long enough, you know. It's what the other girl I know on YouTube is doing, you know. It's just like, well, this keeps going on and on, but, you know, let's at least cut it an hour. One was like 2 hours, though, and I did not mind it. But, yeah. I'm pretty losing my steam on what to say anyway, so. And I got through a pretty good thread of story there, so. Oh, I was gonna say too, it's weird too because the guy I was talking to that's homeless now, yeah, I've been walking this trail on St. Mary's and it just has his name, Charlie, just like in the sidewalk at the very beginning of this trail. It's like his name and then there's the path along the water. It's just so trippy. I've been saying this. There's a picture I'll link maybe. It's so weird. And then there was really a lot I was gonna say because I just have a lot going on in here. But also where I am in Connecticut, I have 2 exes that have the same name, and my one ex I met in this same town. And they both have like, yeah, rich family in Greenwich, and clowns in their family history. This clown complex. I could go on about that too. So it's just like a lot of reminders all the time. And then the other ex I had in Hollywood, he was from this town too. And that's why I got with him, because we both like knew this town. So it's weird. A lot of connection and cut. With connect, I cut. That's why I'm always like, this means something. Connect the dots and then cut them all up. I don't know. I just want to feel like more secure. Is that so hard? And oh my god, I really do miss feeling loved. I'm not gonna lie, I totally did the thing again where I masturbated this morning and then cried. And yeah, I was thinking about my ex, and like, again, it's the only intimacy that I remember the strongest. Every intimate thing I can think about now just makes me cry because I'm lacking it, and it all got really messed up. And I just feel like I'm never gonna find someone that like loves me that much or makes me feel that safe and secure, really, or really loves me, or like is really there for me, or they're just gonna leave me for someone else, you know. And so, like, feeling loved and trying to feel pleasure is all just very painful and scary and weird. And it just sucks because sometimes I just think about them, like someone holding me and cuddling and just like just wanting to hide from the world and just nestle up in somebody, and like really wishing I had that and feeling like I can't find that and I'm not going to, and it makes me really sad. And feeling like the world is really lacking that too. You know, my cousin's really like missing that. And it sucks too because we lack it and we're also like incapable of it because of trust and abandonment issues and like this detachment addiction we all have, like just detaching and watching TV and detaching and playing video games, and just like how do you expect to have like intimacy and a really solid strong foundation or security or a bond with someone and intimacy if you're not actually getting to know someone or being there for someone? Like, you are detaching and watching TV. You're not really with someone if you're just watching TV with them, or if you're just getting drunk with them, or if you're just playing video games while they're in the other room. Like, are you guys really together then? You know, like, are you bonding? Do you understand each other? Like, and I see a lot of lack of that, and it's really sad because like it's just making everybody all just really lonely and sad. Kids detaching and playing video games and loneliness and sadness, and nobody wants to do the same thing. So what do? What do you bond over? You want to do this, but I want to do that. We don't want to do the same thing. Nobody wants to do each other's thing. But, I mean, it gets pretty boring when you want to both do the same thing all the time, too. So you think maybe the differences are good, but then they don't match up still. So it's just like, just really at odds with everything. Like, nothing's really syncing up. And yet I'm seeing all these synchronicities like, oh, like, all of that is still what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a mess so that you can learn from this mess and how it is all wacky. And through that chaos, things will pan out. You just have to keep being patient. But it's like the never-ending questions, you know, and then just accept the unknown in the questions. I don't know. And yeah, I think we gotta leave it off at that now. We've really got to. I really have to chill out now and maybe go on a walk because I should try and eat more, I think. This is just such a crazy time right now. I keep watching astrology stuff too, and the Tower card keeps coming out, and I'm just like, yeah, it would be. Because this is a never-ending Tower card situation. It's just like the thread of everything just falling. It's like everything is just like falling apart constantly. Everything is just. It's just never. It's just has not been done falling apart. It just keeps. It's all shedding. It's all. And I'm just looking at all like, what the heck is like this mess? But I have these doodles right now. And then through the doodles, I'm making doodles with the eraser. So the eraser is being drawn over the doodles and making its own line. So it's like even in the erasing, there is art. If that makes any sense. Gotta clear some paths. Got a lot of path clearing. Me and my friends who are twins, that tower, we cleared a path and we were all proud of it, and then we just had really bad poison sumac for a week. So I'm really gonna need leader. I'm not gonna make it. All right. Okay, my hand isn't that shaky. It's a little twitchy. Considering all the coffee, I mean, it was like 3 or 4 cups, but I think it was kind of strong, and I just really have been having a hard time eating too, so that's part of it. And just, yeah, all this anxiety of like, fuck, what do I do now? And I've been trying to get a job so much, and then had so many things that I thought were gonna work out, and then just not, so it's been really fucking exhausting and draining. Just constantly being like, oh, here's this thing. Oh, what do you know? It's not working out. Oh, this is what we're gonna do. No. It's like that evil torture of like you think you've got it figured out, just to have that also not pan out, and that's just happening every time I think I've got something figured out, it doesn't, and I have to go back to the drawing board again, and like it just keeps happening, and it's just been sucking so much. Every fucking thing, every person I meet ends up being a disaster. Every fucking thing I do ends up not working out, and then back to square one, and it's just like I'm gonna tear all my hair out. Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, can just something please work? Please? 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 Do I really have to keep waiting to even get a clue? It's brutal. It's brutal. It's just like stumbling through the darkness. Like, and like when you're lost and you're really scared because like you don't even know if either way you're going is right. You're just lost and you feel like you're going in circles, and then you realize you're going in circles and you're like, fuck, I'm wasting time. It's getting darker out. I'm gonna get eaten by a bear soon. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Oh my god, I've been going the wrong way. Oh, I thought this was the right way, but it's not. Oh my god, what am I doing? I can't see. I've been tripping. Ow, I hurt my foot. Fuck, now I gotta walk around with my ankle hurting. It's like that, and it's just really scary. It's really scary. It's really hard. It's like, and like, I'm losing my mojo. Like, I'm losing the willpower to even figure it out anymore. Like, it becomes more and more like, I just want to give up. And then it sucks because I know, like, okay, but if we sit down, we're not gonna get back up. And then, like, yeah, if we give up, we're gonna die. So we can't. You gotta keep going, or it's gonna get worse, and then it'll be bad. So, I'll just say once again, at least I'm not drinking and smoking cigarettes, because that's been really hard to not do. I was doing that so much, so the fact that I'm not for like a month now is a pretty big deal. And I would be in such a worse place, I know, if I was doing that right now. Like, it would be so bad. So, I'm really proud of myself that I'm going through this really hard time and not doing those vices. But even like my cousin said, he was like, man, even though this divorce sucks, like, that's what helped me stop drinking, because I'd be damned if I let her get the last laugh and actually be right, and like have all these things she was saying about me be right, like, and I would get so mad, like I'd beat somebody up, so I literally can't drink. So even though I'm going through like the hardest time right now, I'm not gonna drink, because then it's going to really get too bad. And that's kind of like where we're at right now. Like, it's so bad right now that you really can't even do your vices, because then you really might just lose it all. And I'm actually really worried about the one guy who's homeless right now, because he's just drinking. He just got locked up for being publicly intoxicated. And it's just like, and now he's just like really sad that he can't even like have his dog anymore. He can't like take care of it. Like, the dog doesn't even want to be with him anymore, and that's the only thing getting him by. It's just like, yeah, all right. I feel like if anybody watched this, I would feel bad for them, because I just I'm stressing myself out. But if you did, then know that, you know, you're not the only one. that's that. The end. Take a breather, all of us, and realize it's okay. We all have a mess of things going on, and it really all does work out somehow. And we really all have been here before and gotten through it, and we'll do it again and again and again, and that's life. And it sucks, but at the same time, it's still cool and it's okay. And the unknown is cool, because, man, I really don't know. Who knows what's waiting around the bend? Pretty much every time I've been in a really low pace, I'm not gonna lie, like, right past it. It's like, if you can just make it through December. It's a song I've been listening to. If you can just get past that really big darkness, there's a great light on the other end. You just gotta keep going. So, I tell you, if you're going through a really hard time too, you just gotta keep going. And right at the end of that, darkest before the dawn, there's really cool things at the other end of really hard times. You just gotta try and believe in that and trust and keep going, because I really do think you become so much stronger. And because you become so much stronger, because it takes so much strength to keep going, because of that, it's not even like magical in a way, it's mathematical logic. Like, because it makes you so much stronger, then you get rewarded, because that strength brings good things. Really amazing things. Because you have the strength to, hold it. Like, you have to become strong enough to hold this on. I don't know, but it just kind of makes sense that there's really awesome stuff at the end of the tunnel or whatever. So, let's just take a breather. It's okay. It's okay. Process it. Stress out, freak out. One day you'll look back and be like, yeah, that was a shit show. We got through it. Look what was at the other side. Look at this new beginning that is at the other side of all the death. When you die, who knows what's waiting for you when you die? But I'm envious of what they have when they die. That light that they get to become. Yeah. Big love, mad love. Mad love, guys. Mad respect for the survival we all do. We're hanging in there. You got this. That hang in there thing. Do do do. Do the Nardwar thing. Do 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 do. I don't know what the fuck that is, but yeah. Yeah.